Hi there! Happy Riḍván! Welcome back to day 2 of our programming. My name is Yosi, and on behalf of our Is Everywhere team, I wanted to wish you welcome. Where we are right now is my craft table at home, and we're here because of the nature of what we're going to be doing today to celebrate day 2 of our Riḍván programming. But I'll let my friends Terrence and Shakti get into it. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with them. I'm just here because I wanted to remind you of a few things. Sorry. I love colored pencils. If you know someone who loves coloring as much as I do, I wanted to remind you we have a coloring page for them, and we're going to be showing different children from around the world and their finished coloring page if they send in a 10-second or less video. So in the description of this video, I have the coloring page and I have the submission form for sending the coloring page and any other things you might want to send along that we could potentially program there. So if you're looking for those things, you can go down to the description box of this video. Also in the description of this video, you'll get the link to tomorrow's episode where there will be more tutorials, more quotations, more loveliness. So stick around, enjoy the crafts. The main thing you need to know is that today is all about roses. So are you guys ready? My friend Ajwa is going to read us a beautiful tablet that talks about this festival of Riḍván, and then you'll get to meet my friends Terrence and Shakti. Once again, happy Riḍván to everyone. I hope you enjoy your programming today, and keep your craft supplies safe and close by, because I think you'll need them. Bye.
My name is Ajwa.
My name is Alicia, and my name is my baby Zora.
And this is your sister Zora. We are connecting with you from Indianapolis, Indiana, from our home. And we wanted to wish you a happy Riḍván. Yeah. So as part of wishing you a happy Riḍván, we thought that we could share a tablet with you. Alicia, could we sit calmly while Mommy reads a tablet for Riḍván? Yeah? You're going to sit close to me and your sister? Yeah? Peacefully? Okay. In the name of God, the most glorious, glorified art thou, O Lord my God. This is one of the days of thy Riḍván festival, whereon thou didst shed the splendor of thy name, the all-merciful, upon all the peoples of the earth, and didst manifest thy power and thy sovereignty unto all created things. Thou seest, O Lord, how on this day one of thy loved ones hath invited the manifestation of thine essence from his room to another room in this prison, wherein a gathering hath been held in thy name, and adorned with the ornament of thine own self, in such wise that the sun of thy beauty hath shone forth above its horizon. Blessed be the one who hath attained thereunto. Blessed the day that hath been honored with thy revelation, and blessed the land that hath been illumined by the light of thy countenance. O Lord, ordain for him and thy servants who have been hindered from meeting thee the recompense decreed for such as have attained thy presence, and convened a gathering to exalt thy name and thy remembrance. Write down then for them what thou hast written down for such as enjoy near access to thee. Thy might and truth is equal to all things. Thank you for letting us share a little tablet with you as you distance socially but stay connected spiritually this Riḍván festival. We bid you farewell. Bye. Alawapa. Alawapa.
Alawapa.
Happy Riḍván!
my friend Ron Lapitan. He's gonna teach me how to make a Riḍván rose. I've never drawn before, and he told me that I needed crayons and paper and maybe a pencil and a flat surface. Do you want to do it with me? He's a great teacher, and he might even tell a story. I love to color. I want to do it. I want to do it. Well, we have to be really quiet so we can focus. Hi guys, my name is Shakti, and I love to color. Let's do it together.
Afterwards, maybe we can see some of your artwork.
Really? Yeah. Amazing.
Hi friends, happy Riḍván. My name is Ron Lapitan, joining you from Fairfax, Virginia. And for this portion, in honor of Riḍván, we're going to do some drawing tutorials. So grab a piece of paper, something to draw with, like a pen or a pencil, and some colors, and let's get drawing. So in this drawing tutorial, we're going to learn how to draw a rose. Now, the basic thing to know about roses is that you're using this shape a lot, which is the shape of a petal. And as you can see in this drawing, you're starting off with this shape really scrunched up together, as in like the center of the petal. And then you just like draw shapes around it that are larger and larger. So it's like the petals that are all scrunched up in the center, unfolding and unfolding until you get the full rose. So do these steps with me. Start with this shape, just like this. And you're just going to draw more of that really close together. And the reason we're drawing a rose is because roses play very prominently in the story of Riḍván. So now start drawing some bigger ones outlining these center ones you created. The story of Riḍván is the story of the time when Bahá'u'lláh was exiled from Iraq to Constantinople because the Persian government feared the influence that he had started to gain with the people of Iraq. So the house he was living in at the time was not big enough to accommodate everyone who wanted to say goodbye. So a nobleman offered this large garden that he owned as the place for Bahá'u'lláh to come and for all the people of the city who wanted to say goodbye to come meet him a final time. And this garden came to be called the Garden of Riḍván, which means paradise, because of the influence of Baha'u'llah's presence there. And that is where Baha'u'lláh took the name Bahá'u'lláh and declared himself the founder of a great new religion, the Baha'i faith. And this garden was full of lots of roses. So you could say that the place where the Baha'i faith took its first breaths was in a field of roses. I once told that story to two friends of mine who thought it was really poetic. And one of them said to the other, where was it where you had your first spiritual awakening? And he said, I think it was a Denny's. So, okay. So you have your basic rose here now, and do this to make the petals. And you're just going to do that a few more times. Okay, so there's our rose, and now let's color it in. So I'm going to be using crayons, one way to make your coloring look really neat when you're using crayons is, rather than just like starting and doing this on the whole thing, start by outlining the shape you want to color in, and then after that, color in the inside a bit more lightly, like this. And now let's color in our leaves. All right, team. So that's our rose. How did your rose turn out? Was it as good as you expected? Not as good as you expected? If you think it's not as good, then this is a good time for me to share what I call Ron's first maxim of drawing. And Ron's first maxim of drawing is that there is no such thing as a bad drawing. I think when people draw a picture and they call themselves a bad artist for it, or say that they're not good at drawing, it just means they need a little more practice at it, and they're just not good at it the first time they try it, which is okay. I like to tell my junior youth to compare it to the way they get graded in school, where when they do something really good on their first try, they get a good grade on it to celebrate, that they had a success. But when they try something and they're not good at it, they get a bad grade on it, which in a way kind of discourages them from failing or making mistakes or just trying something that you're not already good at. For drawing, I think you should just unlearn that system, recognizing that we learn as much from our mistakes and when things don't go the way we want as much as we do our successes, if not more. So whether your drawing looked exactly how you want it or whether it didn't, give yourself an A+ on it. We're going to try one more rose. And this rose is going to be standing up. So it's the same concept where we're going to start with the petals being scrunched up and then kind of spreading out and becoming bigger as they go out, except instead of being a circle like this that you're just like, that you're just like looking at head on, it's going to be more a shape like this. So, yeah. So start with a shape like this. Got it? Now, do some more petals scrunched up with it. And now you can just like add on like this. You can either just add on to it like this, or you could put the end of a rose like that. See? Another tip I make to artists is if you make a mistake, just don't tell anyone you made a mistake. Because it doesn't actually look like a mistake to someone else until you say, oh, I shouldn't have done that. But if you don't say that, everyone will just think, wow, he's a really good artist. Yeah, sorry. So once you draw your shape like this, you'll want to draw a bulb like this, which is what I started doing. And then roses have leaves like this, connecting to the bulb. So now you can do a stem which is gonna bend in one place. And just to make it more interesting to look at, you'll want to put one thing here with a leaf on it. And if you want, you can add one on this side too. All right, let's color it in.
Yep, so there's our outline.
All right, that's our rose. And now, let's add a quote. Ta-da! Okay, friends, I hope you enjoyed that drawing tutorial. Stay safe as much as you can, stay home, and have a happy Riḍván. Bye!
Happy Riḍván. We're Nala and Eva. We live in Woodburn, Oregon. And we want to wish you a happy Riḍván all over the world. Bye.
Nala, Eva, we love that so much. Thank you for sending us art. It was so beautiful. Happy Riḍván.
Hi everyone, my name is Chloe, and today we're going to be doing cute little paper roses as a Riḍván celebration, either gift or decoration, whatever you'd like to use them for. So this is the final product. I'll show you. I have these little paper roses all made up as a display. I've done a few colors, and we're gonna also put little leaves on them that you can unroll. You can write little quotations or thank you, anything in there that you'd like to write. So the materials that you're gonna need for these little roses today are a couple of twigs you collect from outside. I'm gonna have some that are about this size to use as nice little stems. Some paper that's dark green for the leaves, tape, a pen to write the little messages, scissors, and some paper. So this is everything you need. If you want to gather your supplies, then you can follow along. So you're going to take your paper and cut it into strips about a little more than ½ inch. So I've already done that with a few here. Then you want to take a little piece of tape and put it on the very end. And then using your stick, you want to tape the tape around the stick and begin to roll. And you can roll your paper around the end, and you want it to be at this sort of vertical angle. And I would really suggest doing it in the same direction as me. It makes a lot of sense to do it the same way. So then once you have it rolled around so you've covered the whole stick, you can fold down and across like that. And then again, you can fold down and across. And you want to wrap and wrap, and then fold down again. Oh, you gotta hold that stick tight and wrap and fold down again. And you want to keep these folds so that your paper is coming out at a downward angle. And you can wrap again, fold down. Sometimes the paper wants to fold in half, but that doesn't give you enough paper to keep working with. So you want to make sure that you're folding it at that angle. Keep folding and rolling and folding and rolling. And the paper begins to stack up on top of itself there and turn into this little rose shape. The longer the strips of paper are, the more layers you'll get to your rose. So I'm kind of at the end of my paper here, so I'm gonna stop here. I did that last fold. I'm gonna do the same fold one more time. So I'm gonna pinch this rose here, and I'm gonna fold this down and then down again. And that way I have this little piece here that you can tape either around the stick or back up on itself and the rose. So you can tape that down. And you can see that little tape there, but that's clear tape, so that should be okay. And now you have a little rose. So now we've made our rose. Let's make a little leaf for it. So we're gonna make a leaf with a little message. So you can write a message. You don't have to, but you can write a little message. I'm just gonna write, Happy Riḍván. You can do a little heart or a smiley face, whatever you'd like. Now you can do this with a set of scissors or a pen, whatever is easiest, but whatever side is the inside, you want to curl that a little bit. And curling this just will help you to roll it up. So see how it makes that little coil? So then you can roll up your leaf and it'll be a nice tight little curl so that when they unroll, they'll see their little message. Then you can just take some tape. And the easiest way I've found to tape it to the stick is to place the very end of the tape on the end of the stick, and then you just spin it around, and that'll tape it to the stick really simply. So now we have our rose, we have our little curly Q leaf there, and you can wish someone a nice happy Riḍván.
Hi, my name is Dave Grammer. I'm a wood turner here in LA, and I'm making a pen for Riḍván. I'm making a segmented pen, so that means I'm going to be taking 12 different pieces of wood, cutting them down to size, gluing them up in this process that you'll be watching over the next few days. So what we're doing right here is measuring out the pieces. Each piece is going to be 7 millimeters wide. So that's about a quarter of an inch, maybe between a quarter of an inch and a half inch. It's pretty small. Actually, it's more closer to a quarter of an inch. The 1st, 9th, and 12th days will be 5,000-year-old bogwood. Those are going to be wider. It's going to be about 15 millimeters. For those other types of wood that you'll see throughout this project is olive wood, Honduran rosewood, elderwood, zebra wood, bloodwood, masaranduba, which is bullet wood from Brazil, purple heart, brown heart, cocobolo. Really kind of tried to mix it up and get a bunch of different types of wood in here just to keep it interesting and mix up the colors and the patterns of the grains and things. So I'm using this square, the metal kind of L-shaped thing here with my ruler to find the flattest side. So you'll see me kind of rotate some of the pieces of wood throughout the process just to try and make sure that I have at least one side that's really flat. Makes a later step when I glue everything together much, much easier. Having at least one side that is really flat, I can then keep everything in a nice line for when I drill it out later. Now in the background, my dog, Bella, is chewing on that really lovely walnut log that she's chewing the bark off of. I was trying to save some of that, but clearly didn't work because she went right back to chewing it. So this is a piece of elder wood. You can see a little bit of pink in it. It's kind of cool, the colors that come out of these woods at different times as you cut them down. You never really know. You get an idea of what might be inside, but you're kind of still just kind of guessing. So here I'm just double checking. You'll see a lot of measuring and a lot of double checking. I'm a big fan of measuring 14 times and cutting or sanding once. The phrase that I go by is you can take wood off, but you can't put it on. I didn't say that. I didn't come up with that, but it definitely fits all woodworking, any type of woodworking that applies to. This piece here is the zebra wood. It's got a nice grain to it. Recognized I used the wrong side, and this is where you'll see that line is not, you might be able to see that line was not really straight on there because the piece of wood itself, that side was angled and not square or flat. It was flat, but it was on an angle at the same time. So I'm trying to make sure that it's all square for later. So I'm going to go through this process with all 12 pieces, measuring them up, getting them the right size, or lining them, getting my markings so that I know I can put them to the right size. Just making it as easy as for later, so I have as much of a understanding of where I want to go. I've never done a segmented pen like this before. It was a lot of fun to really be very tedious and time consuming, but definitely a lot of fun. So stay tuned, come back to Riḍván Everywhere tomorrow and catch the next step. Thanks a lot.
Refresh.